Yo, it's Monday, aka Mo Day. Welcome back to another episode of the JM Show. I am your host, Jody Mo. And today we got a few topics, man. We have the playoff updates, we have the NBA award updates. And you know what? I was going to touch on that Shannon Sharp situation, but I feel like it's so much going on right there in that situation. You got allegations, you got freakiness, you got kinkiness, you know what I mean? And the last thing I want to do is kick a brother back in. So, I'll wait for that to conclude and whatever happens with that situation. But shout out to everybody involved in that. But we're going to stick to sports. So, in the first round of the playoffs, we have the OKC who have won. They've won. They're going to move on to the second round to face the winner of the Clippers versus the Nuggets. Now, I had OKC winning. I had Thunder in 6. I didn't expect them to win in 4. So what happened? Game 3, the Grizzlies come out. They up by 30. And Ja goes down, right? Another injury for Ja. And the Thunder just roared back, and they took the game. Game 4, I give the Grizzlies credit. They came out to play, and it just wasn't enough. Sometimes a team is just, better than you, especially when you're missing a player like Ja. That could hurt your whole offense, your whole strategy of what you're trying to do. But I think, the Grizzlies right now, I think what they need, ironically, is what they traded away. They need a Dylan Brooks back, a big who could guard that perimeter, hit timely shots, make hustle plays. So until they find that, I think they're always going to feel like they're missing something. As far as OKC, they did what they were supposed to do. Number 1 seed, went in there and they handled business. Now they get rest and they waiting on their opponent. So, you know how that go. Now you have the Clippers versus the Nuggets, right? You got this series at 2-2. I had Nuggets in 6, so that prediction is still looking great. But this has been a series, right? Kawhi Leonard has been hooping. James Harden. Obviously Jokic. Obviously, Murray a little bit. Murray's still been having his little moments. Aaron Gordon just hit a game winner. So that series has definitely been going back and forth. So I wouldn't be surprised if it goes 7, but I still have it in 6. Next, you have the Cavs versus the Heat. Now, this series is 3-0, right, in the Cavs' favor. I had Cavs in 5, and it's looking like they're going to sweep as well. The Cavs are number 1 seed facing the 8th seed, so I wouldn't be shocked, but I expected Miami to get a game. I still expect them, obviously their last home game, I expect them to come out and fight, but, I mean, it's looking like they might get them out of there, sweep them, you know what I mean, and good year. I mean, if you Miami, you got nothing to be ashamed about. You had a good year. Now you have the Golden State Warriors versus the Rockets. Now this series is 2-1. Golden State favor. I had what I have. I had Warriors in 6. And that's still looking good. You know what I mean? As far as I'm concerned. I still feel like the Warriors are in control of this series, even though the Rockets, got themselves a game. I still feel like they're in control. Yeah, and I think they're gonna wrap it up in 6. It might go 7. You never know. But yeah, I think they're gonna wrap that up. And then you have the Boston Celtics versus the Magic. And this series is 3-1 in the Celtics' favor. Now I had Celtics in 5, so I expected this. I really got no commentary on this series because I really haven't watched it, really haven't tapped in with it. It's just not a series that's is entertaining at all. The Boston is just doing what they do. So yeah, once again, shout out to the Magic. They're a good young team. Obviously, they are a couple seasons away from competing, but they're a good team. So you give them credit for that. Then you have the Pacers versus the Bucks. And this series is 3-1 in favor of the Pacers. Now, I had the Pacers winning at 7, right? I expected Dame to return. I expected Giannis to do his thing. I expected the role players around Giannis to do their thing. The Pacers been hooping. They've been doing their thing. But the Bucks, on the other hand, I don't know what they're doing right now. You know what I mean? As far as Doc Rivers as a coach, he's just looking he looking a little crazy, man, because it's like you done nothing with this team. You know what I mean? And then we just seen Dame go down, and it's looking like an Achilles. Obviously, want to knock on wood. You don't want that. Wish that on the athlete because that could be career ending. But that's what it's looking like. So it's no telling what happens with the Bucks, man. Giannis, yeah, he might be out of there. Hope he's not, but he might be out of there. But yeah, it don't look like it's going to 7. Look, it's gonna be wrapped up in 5, and that's crazy. You know what I mean? Because for a player like Giannis to go home in the first round in 5 is crazy. But that's how it goes sometimes. Then you have the Lakers versus the Wolves. Now, this series is staying at 3-1 right now, right? In the Wolves' favor. And I had the Lakers in 6 in this series. So even if the Lakers win, obviously my prediction of numbers is wrong. But yeah, I'm shocked. I ain't gonna lie to you. This is one of the series that I've watched every game. And I'm shocked that the Wolves have controlled the series like this, man. I didn't expect them to be able to handle a Luka and a Luka and a LeBron in this way. Because we just saw what happened with Luka and Kyrie, and it was the opposite way. Kyrie and Luka, we won that in 5. You know what I mean? But yeah. But I still expect the Lakers to fight back. I don't expect them to go out in 5. Even if they do lose this series, it'll probably be in 6 or 7. But shout out to the Wolves. I did not expect them to be in this position. So, Ant-Man, superstar. Then you have the Knicks versus Detroit. And the Knicks are up 3-1 in this series. Now, I did have the Knicks winning in 6, so I'm not shocked that they are up 3-1. Even though the last game is very controversial. I am Team Detroit on that call. I feel like you got to make that call. I get like as a ref, you don't want to, blow that whistle right then and there. And I still feel like the players should still try to make the shot as well. Like you just can't rely on the ref because they might not call it, right? But as a ref, you gotta make that call. But they down 3-1. So you gotta get over that and at least go back to New York and make something happen. The Knicks are a team that will let you beat them in the Garden. So like you gotta just go in there ready. And you might make it back to Detroit, you know what I mean? But I also wouldn't be shocked if they wrap that up in 5, if the Knicks got it out the way. Did I miss any series? No, I think that's all. So yeah, man. The first round of the playoffs has been good. These has been some good games. So, you know what I mean? You got to give a shout out to the NBA and all the players for hooping. Definitely doing their thing. So I'm definitely satisfied with what's been going on. Hopefully it gets better in the second round because the game's supposed to get tougher. The teams get better. So now we have the NBA award updates. There have been awards announced. 3 or 4 to be exact. Well, not to be exact, but 3 or 4. Defensive Player of the Year, Evan Mobley. He won that. Obviously, Cavs number 1 seed. He is a big part of that defense. So I believe he did earn that award. Shout out to Evan Mobley. 6th Man of the Year, we have Peyton Pritchard. I think that go without saying why he won 6th Man of the Year once again. Hey, man, that guy could drop 40, man. Coming off that bench, he's a big part of that offense, big part of that team. We just had a game where Tatum didn't even play, and it didn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what they do. You have a new award, right? The Clutch Player of the Year. And Jalen Brunson takes that, right? And I think Steph won it before. I think it was De'Aaron Fox won it before. So it's a new award, but, it speaks about those clutch moments that you have at the end of games, go-ahead shots, game-winning shots. And obviously, if you watch Game 4, Jalen Brunson came back because he had got injured, twisted his ankle. He came back and, yeah, because Detroit had the lead. And Jalen Brunson came back and did his thing. So he definitely made it very clear he deserves this award. He's definitely clutch. And then you have another new award. It's the Hustle Player of the Year, right? So I didn't know what this was at first, so I looked it up. And the Hustle Player of the Year, or the Hustle Award, but the Hustle Player, honors a player that makes the effort that makes the effort plays, the ones that often don't appear in the box score. You know what I mean? As far as loose balls, recoveries, diving on the floor, taking charges. And yeah, that's definitely Draymond. You know what I mean? They probably made this award for Draymond. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's definitely Dre. So he definitely won that. And then you have Rookie of the Year. I forgot to make a prediction for Rookie of the Year. I forgot why. Well, I don't know how that slipped my mind for that award, but I'll probably go Stephon Castle in that, or Stephen Castle, however he pronounces his name. Pardon me. Yeah, Spurs, they had a good year. They was looking good till Wemby went down. Chris Paul, him did the dunk contest. He had a good year. Also, the guy out there in Philly, he had a good year, but he ended up getting injured. So, yeah, I have to go Stephon Castle, or Stephen, however you pronounce it. So, yeah, that's the NBA award updates. They still haven't announced Coach of the Year. Still haven't announced MVP. They haven't announced Rookie of the Year either, so I'm going to throw mine in there right now. And I think that's it on the awards, unless they got another new award that I don't know nothing about. But I think that's it. So, yeah. Once again, I still expect Shea to win MVP. I still expect M.A. Udoka to win Coach of the Year. You know what I mean? And hopefully they announce it real soon. But until then, it's Monday, a.k.a. Mo Day. I want y'all to like, subscribe, put your comments down there. And I'll be back here Monday with the playoff updates and any other sports news. Once again, the only reason why I want to touch on that Shannon stuff is because, yeah, it look crazy. It look like it could go criminal. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't want to speak on stuff like that. You know what I mean? But shout out to everybody, man. Love from JM.